Behind every closed door, a nightmare waits. That's the unsettling premise Brian Fuller brings to life in Dust Bunny 2025. Fuller, known for his flair in blending dark fantasy with intricate storytelling, steps into the director's chair here, also penning the script. This is a film that doesn't just sit in one genre box. It's an action-packed, horror-tinged thriller with fantasy elements that twist the familiar into the uncanny. With a sharp cast including Sophie Sloane and Mads Mikkelsen, Dust Bunny stakes its claim in a crowded 2025 genre landscape by promising a story about more than just monsters. It's about the monsters we don't expect and the lengths we go to confront them. At its core, Dust Bunny follows 10-year-old Aurora, who asks her hitman neighbor to kill the monster she believes devoured her family. That pitch alone places it squarely in a unique intersection of genres, a child's nightmare crossing paths with a gritty, violent thriller. The film's tone, based on the synopsis and early marketing, leans heavily into suspense and dark fantasy, with horror's psychological edge and action's kinetic bursts. Released theatrically in 2025, it arrives amid a resurgence of genre hybrids that challenge straightforward horror or thriller expectations, appealing to audiences hungry for layered narratives and complex emotional stakes in genre cinema. Brian Fuller's direction here is crucial. Known for his visually rich and often surreal storytelling, Fuller's style is expressive, think meticulous framing, a palette that shifts to reflect thematic undercurrents, and a camera that moves with intent to build tension or reveal character states. In Dust Bunny, that likely translates to a blend of claustrophobic close-ups and fluid action sequences, balancing the intimate horror of a child's trauma with the broader, brutal world of assassins. Editing rhythm probably alternates between slow, dread-building moments and rapid, almost violent bursts during action scenes, maintaining a pulse that keeps viewers off balance, exactly what a thriller with fantasy and horror elements needs. Visually, expect a world that feels both grounded and slightly off-kilter. The monster Aurora fears isn't just a creature, but a manifestation of something deeper. So lighting and color design probably oscillate between shadow-heavy, moody blues and stark, almost clinical light during moments of confrontation. Fuller's background suggests he won't shy away from surreal or symbolic imagery, using visual motifs to deepen the narrative rather than just decorate it. The action scenes, especially those pitting the hitman against waves of assassins, will be choreographed not just for spectacle, but to underline the emotional stakes. The fight isn't just physical, it's existential. On to the performances. Sophie Sloane as Aurora anchors the film with the emotional weight of a child caught between innocence and trauma. Given Fuller's ability to coax nuanced performances from his leads, Sloane's portrayal likely balances vulnerability with a fierce determination. Mads Mikkelsen, known for his intense, often brooding presence, brings a layered complexity to the hitman role, someone who's world-weary yet drawn into a protective, almost paternal role. The supporting cast, including Sigourney Weaver and David Dastmalchian, adds gravitas and versatility, promising a dynamic ensemble that can handle the film's tonal shifts from suspenseful to action-driven to deeply emotional. The chemistry between Sloane and Mikkelsen is essential. It's the emotional core, a child's desperate plea and a hardened assassin's reluctant acceptance. Early reactions hint that the film's strength lies in these performances, with the cast elevating Fuller's intricate script. Weaver's role, while less clearly defined in marketing, likely adds an authoritative or enigmatic presence, anchoring the film's more mysterious or fantastical elements. Overall, the ensemble reflects a careful casting approach, aimed at balancing star power with character-driven authenticity, a combination that can elevate genre fare beyond cliches. Writing-wise, Fuller's script threads a tight narrative needle. The story structure seems designed to layer tension. The simple premise of a hitman protecting a child against a literal monster expands into a broader meditation on fear, trauma, and what it means to face real monsters. Themes of innocence corrupted, the blurry line between hunter and hunted, and the cost of violence probably run deep here. The screenplay likely uses the thriller's action beats and horror's unsettling atmosphere to probe these themes without sacrificing pace. It's a story that unfolds with deliberate mystery, inviting viewers to question who the monster really is and what survival demands. This balance between genre elements and thematic depth is where Dust Bunny aims to stand out. The structure probably toggles between high-stakes action sequences and quieter, emotionally charged moments, creating rhythm and contrast. Fuller's writing often embraces ambiguity and complexity, so expect a narrative that resists easy answers, instead layering symbolism and character psychology beneath the surface thrills. The child's perspective offers a unique lens, grounding the fantasy and horror in relatable human emotion, a choice that adds nuance and makes the film more than a straightforward action thriller. In terms of franchise or cinematic context, Dust Bunny is a standalone entry, yet it sits comfortably alongside recent genre hybrids blending action, horror, and fantasy. Films like The Night Comes for Us or The Shape of Water share this willingness to mix visceral thrills with emotional storytelling. Audience expectations here might split, some drawn by Mads Mikkelsen's star power and the promise of stylized action, others by the film's psychological and fantastical layers. Unlike typical crowd-pleasing action flicks or jump-scare-heavy horror, Dust Bunny appears to prioritize atmosphere and character complexity, aiming for a more thoughtful and unsettling experience. Comparisons are inevitable, but Dust Bunny resists easy categorization. It's not just a hitman thriller or a monster movie. It blends those into a hybrid, exploring how trauma manifests as both internal and external threats. Fans of genre-bending films that combine spectacle with psychological depth will find its layered approach rewarding. The film doesn't compromise on style. Expect kinetic action and eerie visuals, but these serve the story's emotional core rather than overshadow it. In that way, it aligns with recent trends in genre cinema that favor substance alongside style, challenging viewers to engage with complex narratives. Who should watch Dust Bunny? If you appreciate films that blur genre lines and don't shy away from dark emotional territory, this is for you. Fans of Mads Mikkelsen's intense, nuanced performances will find his role compelling, and viewers looking for horror that's more psychological than jump-scare-driven will appreciate Fuller's atmospheric direction. However, if you prefer straightforward action or horror without thematic complexity, this might feel slow or overly dense. The film's ambition is its strength. Its blend of fantasy, horror, and thriller elements offers a unique cinematic experience that rewards close attention to both narrative and craft. Overall, Dust Bunny stands out in 2025 as a bold fusion of genre and character-driven storytelling. Fuller's vision, combined with a strong cast and carefully crafted visual style, creates a film that's as unsettling as it is gripping. Its willingness to explore trauma through the lens of a child and a hitman's violent world makes it more than just another action horror flick. While not for everyone, Dust Bunny is worth the stream for those seeking a smart, stylish thriller with emotional depth and a haunting atmosphere. It's a film that lingers, not just in your mind, but in how it challenges what monsters really mean. Behind every closed door, a nightmare waits, and Dust Bunny invites you to open that door, step inside, and confront it head-on. If you're ready for a film that blends brutal action with haunting fantasy and raw emotional stakes, this one's worth your time. Thanks for watching Cut to Reel. For more sharp takes on the year's best and boldest films, hit subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for watching Cut to Reel. I'll see you next time for another look beneath the surface of cinema's best.